Have you ever wondered if the history we've been taught might be only half the story? Graham Hancock's work challenges conventional archaeology by daring to ask, what if our past is far more mysterious and advanced than we ever imagined? Ancient monuments, mythologies, and even underwater ruins. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, prepare to question what you've been taught all along. What if an ancient advanced civilization existed before recorded history? Imagine a world where humans built incredible structures and possessed sophisticated knowledge long before our modern civilizations came about. Graham Hancock's early work, especially popularized in his book Fingerprints of the Gods, proposes that a lost civilization once flourished thousands of years ago, suggesting that remnants of their society are hidden in ancient myths from cultures around the world, hinting at a time when humanity was more in tune with astronomical events and natural cycles. Hancock digs into the possibility that a global cataclysm wiped out this civilization, leaving behind scattered clues like intricate symbols and unexplained alignments in ancient sites that are all urging us to reconsider our linear timeline of history. Could the pyramids be the blueprint of ancient genius? Have you ever looked at the pyramids and wondered if their design hides secrets beyond tombs and pharaohs? Hancock's investigations into Egypt's Great Pyramids suggest that these colossal structures might have mathematical and astronomical knowledge inherited from an older wisdom. He notes the precise orientation of the pyramids, aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, and the uncanny precision in the measurement ratios that some claim are not just coincidences. According to Hancock, the sophistication seen in the Giza complex might be a coded reminder of lost technological intelligence and a shared symbolic language among ancient peoples. While mainstream experts interpret these features through the lens of traditional Egyptian culture, Hancock's perspective forces us to ask if there was once a universal blueprint that connected different civilizations across millennia. Have you ever questioned whether the Great Sphinx is as young as history claims? Hancock has long been fascinated by the weathering patterns on the Sphinx's body, suggesting they could point to an age far older than mainstream Egyptologists propose. By analyzing the erosion patterns, especially those that seem to result from prolonged exposure to rain, Hancock argues that the Sphinx might have been carved during a time when the climate was radically different from the arid conditions today. If true, this idea could imply that the monument and maybe the civilization behind it precedes the accepted timelines for ancient Egyptian history. What if our modern maps are missing chapters from Earth's real history? Hancock takes us on a journey through the mysterious ancient maps that appear to depict coastlines and continents long submerged by rising seas. One famous example is the Piri Reis Map, a 16th century chart that some researchers claim shows parts of Antarctica free of ice, decades before the Antarctic ice shield was believed to have been formed. Hancock and his followers suggest that these detailed cartographic records may be relics of an ancient world, one that faced a cataclysmic flood or series of events leading to the rearrangement of Earth's surface. Though controversial, these claims push us to reconsider origins of early cartography and the possibility that ancient mariners might have had access to lost geographic knowledge. Have you ever been struck by how ancient monuments seem perfectly attuned to celestial events? Hancock's research into megalithic sites across the globe, from Europe to the Americas, reveals that many of these structures align with stuff like solstices, equinoxes, and other astronomical markers. Take Stonehenge, for instance. Its positioning isn't random, but appears meticulously calculated to harness the rising and setting of the sun. Hancock proposes that such precise alignments could indicate a shared astronomical understanding among ancient peoples. What if a catastrophic event reshaped the human story? Could a single major event be the missing link between different ancient cultures, like we've spoken about in other points? Hancock delves into the idea that a global cataclysm, possibly triggered by a comet impact or sudden climate change, may have upended civilization at the end of the last ice age. In his investigations, he often points to geological and archaeological evidence suggesting that a massive, rapid change in Earth's climate could explain sudden shifts in human settlements and the abrupt disappearance of long-established cultures. The theory of the Younger Dryas impact, for example, has found some footing among researchers, lending weight to the possibility that such a disastrous event could have reset our historical timeline. Although this theory remains hotly debated, Hancock's work compels us to wonder how resilient human societies really are, and whether a single night's event might erase centuries of progress in a flash. Could submerged ruins hold the keys to a forgotten past? What if the ruins hidden beneath our oceans are relics of an ancient civilization lost to time? Hancock's fascination with submerged structures takes us beneath the waves, where rising sea levels might have drowned cities and mountains that once thrived on dry land. Sites like the underwater formations off the coast of different regions sparking debates among researchers about whether they're natural or the remnants of some purposeful construction. While mainstream science often attributes these formations to geological processes, Hancock points to patterns and alignments that to him seem to show human craftsmanship. Exploring these underwater landscapes opens up a possibility that the modern map of human history could be missing entire chapters that have been hidden underwater. What about ancient myths? Are they the echoes of real events? Hancock sees ancient myths not as fanciful stories, but as coded record of actual events. Accounts of natural disasters, astronomical phenomena, encounters with the divine. For example, flood myths from cultures as diverse as those in Mesopotamia, Mesoamerica, and even distant indigenous tribes share these startling similarities. Hancock's interpretation seems to suggest that these narratives might be collective memories of a once larger, interconnected human experience. The memory of this global catastrophe that reshaped the world. Critics, of course, argue that these myths are just allegorical. The consistency and recurring details across cultures lend a weight of mystery, though. Such tales could be seen as early attempts to document extraordinary events, blurring the lines between myth and historical record. Gobekli Tepe, perched on the Turkish highlands, isn't your typical archaeological site. It's a sprawling sanctuary that challenges everything we believe about early human civilization. Dating to nearly 12,000 years ago, this ancient complex was constructed by groups of hunter-gatherers who seemingly possessed an advanced knowledge far beyond what we'd expect from societies that had yet to embrace agriculture. Hancock's perspective pushes us to see Gobekli Tepe not merely as a religious retreat, but as a repository of forgotten wisdom. The intricate carvings of wild animals and abstract symbols etched on massive T-shaped pillars might hint at a deep connection to astronomical events, meaning that these ancient builders observed the cosmos with remarkable precision, rather than fitting neatly into the conventional narrative of human progress. Gobekli Tepe raises questions. Could these early rituals and celestial alignments point to a sophisticated, interconnected culture lost to time? Hidden high in the Andes near Lake Titicaca, Tiwanaku is a site that Graham Hancock often points to as a mystery. Despite being traditionally attributed to localized culture, the scale and precision of Tiwanaku's monumental structures hint at knowledge and engineering techniques that feel almost too advanced for its established context. The site's colossal monoliths and finely worked stone blocks exhibit precise cuts and alignments that some researchers argue could have only been achieved with a shared repository of lost knowledge. The iconography found there, depicting both cosmic symbols and mysterious deities, suggests that the builders of Tiwanaku might have encoded a deep understanding of astronomical cycles and natural phenomena into their monuments, similar to other megalithic sites around the globe. Could it be that Tiwanaku was not an isolated development, but rather a remnant of a much wider ancient network of civilizations? Well, with all that said, I've been your host. I'll catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.